David, shut the fuck up, dude. For real, like, time to move on. We get it, you're hot now, but I think I can speak for everyone who knows you. If you keep this attitude up, your time is coming. I was there, dude.
On this video, and I'm starting with David, because even though Jason's creepy and disgusting, David's on a whole other level of being an actual horrible person.
So David Dobrik finally made a Let's Talk video where he addresses all the allegations made towards him that have only been growing as time goes on. Now, before I start this video, I just want to say this channel is about business and marketing, but we do speak about life topics and content around it too, because business and marketing is also about life, and I felt it's only right to cover this as I used to watch quite a lot of David's vlogs in the past, and I think we can learn a thing or two from this whole situation. A little backstory for those that are uninformed, that don't know who David Dobrik is or what this situation is about. David Dobrik is a very successful YouTube content creator and social media influencer that rose to fame with his iconic skit-like YouTube videos that last around 4 minutes and 20 seconds per video. These videos have garnered millions of views per video, and in these videos David records what seems to be quite a lot of fun moments with his group of friends and their adventures. Quite a lot of them have been over the top pranks and skits played out by David and his friends that have had some real life after effects and allegations. The allegations towards David are multiple counts of bullying and no consent recordings by multiple people for content. The main accusers being Trisha Paytas, Dirty Dom, Big Nick, Seth Franciswa. They all claim that David had placed them in really uncomfortable positions for his videos and disregarded how they felt for views. But is this true? In David's Let's Talk video, which is possibly the shortest apology video I've ever seen, David states,
that being said, consent is something that's super important to me. Whether I'm shooting with a friend or shooting with a stranger, I always make sure that whatever the video I'm putting out, I have the approval from that person.
I don't really think that's true, as you could go onto his channel and look at many clips on there or just provided by other YouTube content creators that shows that people are genuinely surprised about what David is doing. But in David's defense, he probably meant about 90% of people had consent or so and couldn't recollect every single incident. But there are some incidences in which you can still see that people are genuinely uncomfortable with what he's having them do, and it seems like there's no way out for some of these people. The first one being Seth Franciswas. He was apparently made to kiss Jason Nash, a friend of David, thinking he's kissing a girl. Seth had apparently been uncomfortable about race jokes too that David and his friends made, in which I'll either insert or maybe if I find a link I'll post it in the description. I haven't been able to find those videos yet, but I have seen that myself too. Also, there's been Emma Chamberlain. I hope I said that right. David had asked Emma to lie down and he placed animals on her. She seemed pretty scared of them. And the one that really caught my attention was the one where he had placed caterpillars, I think, on Emma. And it seems that Emma had a really real phobia of this. And it seems like he still, made her do that thing. And even though she did say, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, I have a real phobia towards this, he disregarded that for views too. David also did this to other vlog squad members. It also included some pretty painful paintball shots and dangerous challenges. So these aren't just the only people. Other people like Jason had things thrown onto them, and there's been situations in which I think he put rats or something like that inside people's houses. I could be wrong, it could be other animals, but that's things that we have seen and known. Trisha Paytas. Trisha has been the most vocal about David for a while. She claims that David would make Jason, her boyfriend at the time, do scenes that she was clearly uncomfortable with. This could be making Jason talk to other girls or having some threesome skits. I think one She was talking about her and Tana. I'm not even going to attempt to say her last name, but her and a girl called Tana were told to do something by David Dobrik, which I think was a sort of threesome skit or prank or something like that. And the list can be pretty long. Quite a lot of other creators have exposed David for being pretty immature and insensitive. In a Logan Paul podcast clip, Logan talks about how David brought up Logan's Suicide Forest video that he was clearly uncomfortable with. Big Nick, an old usual in David's vlog, went on a H3 interview and spoke about the mood is different when David switches off the camera, and he feels, and I quote, he feels that this is a demonic sort of energy. So what does this all mean for David? Is it all over? Well, I'm not excusing what David has done, but there's many factors we all need to consider in all of this mess. There's quite a lot of evidence against David, but there's varying factors in David's defense. Trisha Paytas, being one of the main accusers of David, has been known for, and she even recognizes this herself, as being problematic. Trisha has always pointed out David's faults, but rarely none of hers. Even while making some videos unrelated to David, and I guess even her own boyfriend at the time, Jason, talks about it. Trisha seems to love attention and might interpret situations and words in a way that makes her seem like the only victim. Now, YouTubers or influencers being narcissistic isn't anything new, but Trisha could have the victim syndrome or played at this pretty well quite a lot. Trisha has broke down multiple times for multiple reasons in YouTube videos, and she has referred to herself as being unstable, and why she thinks she doesn't have many friends, why her romantic partners eventually want to leave her. Now, I'm not victim blaming, and I'll explain myself on why a little later in this video. Another factor here is that people accusing David are those that usually are not that successful or feel like they've been thrown to the side and haven't received anything big from David. All of them haven't received any cars or big money, which kind of makes sense. In fact, there's a vlog episode in which David buys Dom an iMac, or I think it's a MacBook, but it's a pretty, decent present or gift. And Dirty Dom responds with, "Oh wow, thanks David, you bought Alex a Tesla, but you got me an iMac." Alex being another friend of David. Dom and David started drifting apart when David started not liking Dom in his house because of his apparently annoying behavior.
Excuse me. Wanna have fun.
What are your questions, Dom?
Dude, I was freaking leading into it. You just want me to. Want me. What crazy person are you marrying?
Why do they think it's crazy?
Right, Dom. Yeah. I like that. Wait! Why do you have a Playboy? Zoom in on this. Why does she have? Could it maybe mean she's unfaithful? Just to, I don't know why David doesn't trust me in front of his friends. He thinks I'm gonna embarrass him or something like that. Like, dude, come on. I'm not a freaking savage over here. Like, who do you think I am, bro? Come on, David, you gotta give me some more slack, bro. I've known you for what, 15 years?
Dom has this thing where he embarrasses me constantly when we're in front of a bunch of people. Try not to bring him around, honestly, anybody.
It did seem as when this happened, Dom could start, he began to milk this whole situation and stuff for more clout, because I guess David Dobrik is the more successful and famous one in the group, and Dom may not be doing that well compared to David, so he can start, really milking this for quite a lot of views. Big Nick and Seth also apparently didn't receive a car or money or anything they believe they can leverage. Again, this is just speculation though. It may not be true or true to a certain extent. Most people still in David's corner seem to have benefited greatly from being with or around him, and have also put in quite a lot of work to create their own opportunities too. This again shouldn't excuse David and what he's done, but I'll follow up with the point I wanted to say about consent and the allegations about David. People claim David bullied them into these situations, but what were the actual reasons they even participated in these videos? Most people wanted something and looked at these vlogs as a beneficial opportunity. If David did something they didn't agree to and they saw that happen to others and didn't like it, they should have confronted it right then and there. If their wishes weren't respected, they should have left immediately and cut all contact. Now, quite a lot of people will probably say that's victim blaming, and I don't support victim blaming at all, but I believe replying "don't victim blame" to everything doesn't solve the problem either. It becomes an easy cop-out for not taking a level of responsibility, and there's factors to that too. Now, here's an example. No one should get robbed or have their possessions stolen, and in an ideal world, this should not happen at all. The thing is, we don't live in an ideal world, we live in a real world, so we need to be realistic. If I, for example, I'm in Starbucks and I leave my laptop on a table and go shopping a 40-minute drive away and come back to see my laptop is gone, and people say, well, why did you leave it there? And I reply with, hey, stop victim blaming. This tries to put all the blame off me. Now, this example, I know it can be ridiculous and sounds really stupid, but there are ways to minimize some level of risk in some situations. I don't think this can apply for children and teens, as they wouldn't know any better, but grown-up adults like Seth and Trisha should take a level of responsibility too. Knowing the content David makes should give you an idea of what you can reasonably expect. And I know that, I think I watched a Seth video where he was talking about he needs to take responsibility for some jokes that he allowed to happen, and it's just I just find all the timing though pretty coincidental. I feel like now they are now pressing a lot harder because they're seeing quite a level of support and stuff, and that's fine, but it really puts things in perspective, I guess, when it comes to, well, has Seth been in any of the vlogs or what's actually happening? In an interview with Brandon and Dirty Dom gives an explanation on what the vlogs actually mean.
So Dom, what's up, Brandon? I've noticed something with you.
Okay, I'm crazy.
No, not that you're crazy.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, that partly that, but also I've noticed that when I hang out with you, you're very different than how I watch you in like your stuff and in David's stuff and everything like that.
What do you mean different?
Different. You're more calm and you're well spoken. You got a good head on your shoulders. I noticed that.
I think when people watch like David's videos, everyone's, and we kind of talked about this before, like even on my podcast, like everyone's kind of playing a different role on there, you know? And there's like certain jokes that we make that cater to that certain character, you know?
Yeah.
And like I'm always like that, like
a sitcom.
Like a sitcom, exactly, yeah. I feel like a sitcom actor. It's kind of good because like I never wanted to be an actor when I came out to LA.
Yeah.
And I'm still not an actor, but I guess I kind of am an actor because it's like
in a way.
In a way, yeah.
David and his friends create amped up personas of their actual characters, and so all these stunts David pulls is a persona David has created for himself of the creator of this chaos. His vlogs are more like TV shows than actually representing the real people that they are, and I guess this becomes pretty hard to distinguish, not only for us as viewers, but for them as people, because they sometimes don't know how far they can push the boundaries of that certain character. So this is why this whole bullying thing just becomes pretty difficult to determine who's actually, you know, like letting this go on and who's actually pushing this to its extremes. Again, David Dobrik did a horrible job at addressing this situation. He created a Let's Talk video that's about 2 minutes and 30 seconds long, which is the shortest apology video I've seen, which I've said, in which he didn't really say much to defend himself, and him like blocking and filtering comments, switching off dislikes, doesn't really do anything to help him. David's "I had consent" statement wasn't necessarily true, as I proved in this video, but I don't think we should cancel David. I feel like the whole cancel culture thing is toxic and just unnecessary. Unless someone's a rapist or a pedophile or something like that, then yes, we should definitely cancel them and even kill them. But for these issues, like bullying, especially for how multiple factored it is, how many factors we have, like people grow, evolve, learn, and unless you haven't done anything wrong ever, then canceling people doesn't really make any sense. Let's stop canceling people for anything and everything that offends us. What happened to the days where people had a stiff upper lip and a backbone? I'm not saying bad things don't happen. Bad things happen even to good people. But if you're an adult without any mental conditions, let's take a level of responsibility. Again, I think exactly what I said works in context to things, because when it comes to stuff like rape, I mean, that we can't really say, hey, you know, you need to take a level of blame, etc., etc., etc. But in this situation of what people are accusing David of, there needs to be a level of blame for pretty much everybody there. And not just to single out David, but actually single out the environment that every one of them contributed to and created. So anyway, that's what I think about this whole situation. Just a quick video. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Alright, thanks. Bye.